about your X-Men mutant abilities. Apparently all vampires in this goddamn series are eligible to be considered as X-Men because they just have like powers or something, you know. That's never explained. You never know why Edward, you know, why doesn't Edward fly? Why does he read minds? You know, you're never really given any indication of why these things are. It's Meyer's such a terrible author, you know, you just assume it's just true. She's just making it up as she goes. Like I said, glorified fan fiction, and we're just going along for the ride. And what a fucking ride it is. Fuck. So the next hour of the film is dedicated entirely to Bella just being a dumb bitch. It's like, this movie's like 2 hours long. You spend the first hour doing bullshit high school things that don't impact the film at all, one way or the other. It doesn't spend any time building a relationship between anyone. Bella doesn't have friendships or relationships. She just, you know, it just exists. Halfway into the film, she's just in love with him for no reason. So the other half of the film is about Bella being chased by the Black Eyed Peas, who want to get her. And they apparently kidnap her mom and hold her for ransom at like a ballet studio, and Bella has to go get her mom and save her, like a trade-off. You know, they don't have her mom at all. And Bella, if I can remember correctly, doesn't, you know, check up on this at all. We just sort of assume, that, you know, she has her mom, that the Black Eyed Peas have her mom. So, you know, Bella, I'm thinking, you know, fucking pick up a phone and call someone. You know, why don't you call your mom? Why don't you call your stepdad? Call some friends. Do something before you get on a plane or just magically teleport over there. Before Edward sort of, you know, piggybacks you all the way to Phoenix. You know, call and make sure she's gone. Because you're 100% walking into a trap. There would be no point of setting this up if it wasn't a trap, and it is a trap. So again, she walks into the ballet studio, gets her ass kicked by one of the red-haired, James I think his name is, the red-haired guy. I think she breaks her arm and gets bitten by him, during which time, after she gets bitten by James, Edward and the Cullens come in and beat the shit out of the guy and just literally tear him limb from limb. Kind of cool. I'll give them that. But I would respect it, you know, in any movie. If, certainly Twilight, you know, if someone gets torn apart in any film, I'm going to appreciate it. You just don't see that every day. So Twilight, that's not really a bonus for this film. Apparently that's one of the only ways that we know of right now that you can kill vampires, is by pulling them apart. So whatever, and then there's this horrible other device the filmmakers use that's, I don't know, suspenseful or angsty, more likely. You know, is Edward going to be able to stop himself from draining Bella dry to get the venom out of her system? Vampire bites have venom in them or something. I don't really know. Never really illuminated, you know, really understand why that is. Again, it just is. So he drains her blood. Freddy stops him before he can kill her, sadly. She goes to the hospital. Her mom is there. I can't remember what bullshit excuse she has, like maybe she was knocked out or something. It doesn't fucking matter. Again, it doesn't matter because it's stupid. This is not an intelligent film. I don't know. I know I'm nitpicking, but still. So Edward and Bella go to prom, and major fucking plot point. Major plot point here. Bella asks Edward to turn her into a vampire. And this is a really big deal in the context of this series because Bella, like a whiny bitch, goes on you know, to infinity through the rest of these films just to try and nag Edward into turning her into a vampire. And she's 17 years old, and you're already determining that you want to die and be reborn as another creature, as a non-human. You don't want to have kids. You're going to say goodbye to your family and friends because you're going to outlive them. You're going to outlive everyone. You're never going to die a natural death. And she just makes this decision when she's 17 at prom. Major life-altering decision. So the movie ends with Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas, and you know, I don't know what happened to will.i.am. He's not really in this movie. But Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas is walking, apparently it is at prom. I would like to see who her date is. She's not really wearing any appropriate clothing for prom, I don't think, but that's neither here nor there. So she goes down like a flight of stairs, and you know, music's playing in the background, and she's crying because they killed the red-haired Black Eyed Peas guy. And the movie just sort of ends there. It flatlines. There's no conclusion, there's no strong ending. You know, cameras must have just stopped rolling, literally, because that's where they end this movie. It's not really a cliffhanger, not really an ending, not really a conclusion to the story. The movie just fucking ends. Thank God, two hours in and we're finally over. So that's the story. Again, there's not really much of a story here. There's nothing significant about this film at all. But I'll give you a rundown of things that I liked and things that I didn't like. Unsurprisingly, things that I didn't like far outnumber the things that I did like. Things that I liked. The cinematography is kind of pretty. It was filmed in Oregon, so they sort of nail that region down pretty well. You can realistically believe that this is happening in Washington State, so you know that's believable. The soundtrack is okay. It's just okay. The Paramore tracks they're not offensive. I didn't like it when I heard it in Twilight, but the song Flightless Bird is I kind of like it. A friend gave it to me on a CD and I liked it then. And I think maybe the credits song is Muse, Supermassive Black Hole, and that's a phenomenal song. I heard it outside of the context of this film. I love it. Even Twilight can't ruin Muse. Thank God. Muse is my favorite band. They're fantastic here. So the soundtrack is okay. The orchestral music is by and large forgettable. You're not going to remember any of it. Bella's lullaby is forgettable. It's nothing special. Things that I didn't like. The dialogue is really terrible. The screenwriting is terrible. This was coming from the woman, Melissa Rosenberg, I think her name is, coming from the woman who penned a lot of scripts for the television show Dexter, back when that show was still watchable. A long time ago, I know, but Dexter was at one point good, and she was the screenwriter for that show. So you know she's kind of talented. She can do adult drama, and she can do it well. So assuming I got my facts right, I'm pretty sure she did Dexter. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. But she's fucking horrible here. Really unforgivable script. I have a couple of lines that I would like to read off to you. The ones that I thought were quite stunning. Unforgettable, but not in the way that the film would prefer them to be unforgettable. Okay. It's you, your scent. You're like a drug to me. You're my own personal brand of heroin. You know, thanks, Edward. You You really know how to make a girl feel special comparing her to an incredibly dangerous and illegal drug, heroin. What girl wouldn't be flattered to be compared to heroin? I don't think you could find one. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb. What a stupid lamb. What a sick, masochistic lion. You know, like, oh God, who could commit this crime? Who could actually physically write these words or type these words and print them out knowing that they were going to be in a film? You know, committed to film forever. We can never undo these words. Who fucking wrote this? Like, Stephenie Meyer, go to hell. We don't want to read your shit. Your movie is terrible. Just unbelievable. Oh, and this is one of the most publicized quotes this film has. About 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how dominant that part was, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. Go to hell, Bella. Seriously, go to hell. You know he's a killer. You know that he's killed people in the past. You know he wants to drink your blood. He's been an ass to you. He's been rude to you. Yet you fall in love with him for no apparent reason. Ah, the best one of the film. Well, you shouldn't have said that. You better hold on, Spider Monkey. Folks, I wish I was making this shit up. I really, really wish that... I really, really wish that these lines never existed. If we could go back in time and erase them from history, the world would be a better place, I believe. I'm not exaggerating. If I had a time machine, I would probably go back in time and destroy the Twilight manuscript. And spare the world. Spare me, at least. You know, put Twilight out of my misery. Spare the world of this fucking drivel. Okay, so yeah, the dialogue is terrible. The acting is wooden, is monotone, is deadpan. It's horrible. Kristen Stewart seems to be doing her best, which isn't good at all, her best impression of Wednesday Addams. Like this dead look on her face, literally. Wooden acting. You know, it's like Kristen Stewart's trying to be funny and charming in the way that only Wednesday Addams could be. But she's not. Bella is not awkwardly endearing. She's not quirky. She's a dumb, annoying bitch. I hate Bella Swan. I don't hate Kristen Stewart. You know, I don't hate any of these actors. I hate their characters. Edward Cullen is despicable. I'll talk about him in a second. But the characters, there is no characterization here. There's nothing realistic going on. Move on here. There's nothing here to see. There's no movie here to see. There's no reason why you should be in this theater. Things I didn't like. The direction is okay. It's nothing special. It's kind of, you get like this is a cheap film, I guess, to make. It's got sort of like that shaky cam, sort of authentic feel that you don't see a lot in these big blockbuster films. So the direction's okay. Things I didn't like again. Everything. The special effects. This film had at least like a $40 million production budget. I don't know why. I read that a lot of the special effects were dedicated to digitally altering the scenery to make it look, you know, more dark and gloomy. And you can tell, you'll know exactly when you come.